Yo,
What's
yo,
up,
yo.
fuckers?
Wait, nope. Oh.
Hannah hijacked the what's up.
Why can't I do that?
She can do it. She can do it.
Justin's like, no.
I actually am okay with her doing it this episode.
I'm not. What the fuck? That is not your thing.
So with that being said, Justin, do you want to say it now that Hannah has stripped you of your masculinity?
Okay, chugging.
He's
We're
chugging.
Okay.
What's up, fuckers?
I'm not chugging a second time. We are back. Episode 2 of Saw. We're going to be talking characters, character work, character development, character interactiveness, all of that, because there's a lot to unfold there. This is incredible. This is the best episode so far. Absolutely, and I haven't even started yet. This is fantastic. God. Justin.
Cole.
You're an actor.
Madison.
Madison. Yeah,
Hannah.
if you haven't watched our first episode, Madison, my girlfriend, Hannah, Justin's wife, is here. You heard her open us up. Yeah. So, Justin is mean mugging right now because he got his catchphrase hijacked. It'd be like if Wendy's used Chick-fil-A's slogan, some may say. Some may say.
Yeah, I'm Chick-fil-A. She's Wendy's.
It's one of the biggest debates
I
in a
like
long
Wendy's.
time. Yeah, that's disrespectful.
They're spicy nugs though.
Spicy nugs are tough to beat.
Frosty with a French fry dip.
Okay, I do love that.
Tough to beat. I think everyone in like the Saw series would have been a lot happier if they had access to spicy nuts.
Yeah.
Like during that time, I'm sure the character of Adam would have been like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah, like honestly, if I was sitting in that room, I would have been like some spicy nugs would hit right now since we got to be here for 8 hours. We got characters on Saw. I got a whole list of characters, Justin, that I was marking down. Some of the main people. We got Adam, it's played by Lee Wanell, Dr. Gordon, John Kramer, who is Jigsaw. Then you have Zepp, who was poisoned by Jigsaw and held Dr. Gordon's family hostage. And then you have Amanda, who survived. She survived the first trap we've ever seen someone survive, because Paul and the other guy that's not even worth mentioning, who died in the fire trap when he was covered in all the flammable jelly, he passed away. And then we have Danny Glover playing Detective Tapp, and we have Detective Singh. A lot of people in here. Actually, not a lot of people. A lot of intricate people. So it's not a lot of characters, but they all play such an important role. It feels like a lot. Wouldn't you say?
Yep.
So, I mean, who was your favorite character in here, Justin? Like, there's a lot of people to talk about, but who was your favorite character?
Detective Tapp.
Why was it Detective
Danny motherfucking Glover.
I love Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon.
He's my favorite because everybody thinks he's fucking crazy. But he played he and his partner at the time find out they find the killer, who's Jigsaw. And then I guess because his partner literally was killed by this trap that was set by like these 2 shotguns. He decided to he was kicked off the force, but continued to try to find who this killer was. And he is a little crazy. There was a point in the movie where after his partner had died, he was like, "We're gonna solve this, right, Singh? We're gonna solve this, right, Singh?" And he kept saying that even though he was already dead.
Yeah. And I'm genuinely curious because you just watched this movie. Did Detective Tapp did he get kind of let off the force because of Jigsaw giving him the blade to the throat? He just couldn't work anymore, you think?
They didn't say that.
Because I don't feel like they specified.
No, they didn't say that.
But in a lot of movies and TV shows, when something so traumatic happens to a detective or an officer, a lot of times they get put on a leave of absence for them to recover.
To recover and get help for.
So it kind of feels like he was on some sort of a leave, but he just couldn't pull himself away from the case.
And he couldn't step away. So there's a lot of time jumps also that you are trying to piece together with his character.
Yeah.
At the end though, there was Dr. Gordon was or Larry Gordon. He was He did say, he goes, well, that motherfucker was kicked off the force because he's a fucking lunatic. So I don't think it did happen. I'm sure that was part of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was I think it was just because he went almost senile.
Well, that's a great point because there's so many subtleties on how Detective Tapp. So we talk about how the characters are connected, right? So let's say the obvious one. The obvious one is Dr. Gordon has he's been having affairs against his marriage, and basically Adam was being paid by Detective Tapp to record to take pictures of this. So that's just a small connection on why them three are connecting. So you have some hostility from Dr. Gordon. And then Lee Wanell, who plays Adam, is the one that takes the pictures, and he even has the pictures that are put in a plastic bag with the saws when they're in the room. So that's how they have that kind of soap opera connection triangle between those three, which really caught me off guard when you find out that's how they know each other. Why would Gordon have any connection to Adam? Because they're in the room together, and you find out in Saw, if two people are in a trap together or two people are faced in a trap together at any point, they're connected in some way. Jigsaw just does that in every sequel. There's not many times someone runs across somebody that they literally don't know.
Yeah.
There's always a connection.
Well, Gordon didn't know who he was, but Adam...
He didn't know, but Adam knew who he was.
Adam
The
knew
whole
who
time.
he was the whole time.
Which is incredible.
Mm-hmm. So these two characters are they're the two main ones. Jigsaw's a main character, but he's not really the main character in the first movie.
Pulling the strings.
Yeah. But these two characters, there is character development in this, because you find out a lot between these two. Mm-hmm. I will say that the acting of Gordon was I thought it was great, especially for a horror movie. And he's been in a bunch of movies. I know Hannah was talking about it. We just watched him in something last night. What was the movie?
Gordon?
Yeah.
Well, he's in Princess Bride, which is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But he was also in something else we
Got
were
some
watching.
non-horror to his
What were
name.
we watching the other day that we were...
I can't remember. But yeah, he was, and it was an older movie, probably from the early 2000s, 90s.
Oh, okay.
Something, whatever he was in was, yeah.
Yeah. But his character, was played really well. And like I said, the writing with Lee Wanell, he knew what he was doing with these characters. Those two are great. Jigsaw's character isn't really that big in the first movie, mainly because he's lying down the whole he's pretty much you think he's dead,
But he's pulling the strings that move the entire storyline along.
Yeah.
So he's arguably, in my opinion, he's the most important character because of obviously everything that happens is because of John Kramer laying on the ground. It is literally the only reason everything happens.
That's probably the one thing I didn't like. So obviously I know you said that they said is it's weird, right? To me, sorry, I'm thinking about it in my head. Is he's you said that it was his heart rate was slowed down or whatever. The electrocutions. How the fuck do you not see this dude just pressing a button trying to electrocute these two people?
I know he's I guess he's just literally laying there with his hand on the on the tape recorder, and I guess the tape recorder could have a button on there that he just can. I don't think if I'm focusing on literally trying to saw chains off or something, I don't think I'm going to be staring at the dead body's hand to see if he just goes
Well,
like
that's
that.
what we were talking about in the last episode, is that you think he's dead, so you're not paying attention to anything he's doing.
Why would I pay any attention?
Why would you pay attention to see if he moves a hand? Because you don't think that he's alive, you know? So I think, that's not something that they would even notice because they're not going to be worrying about him laying in the middle of the floor.
The most important character literally is laying on the ground the entire time. So we talk about that connection. You do have, obviously, Zepp gets entered into this, and you see Zepp in the hospital early in the film when you see John Kramer when he's sick with cancer laying in the bed, and also Dr. Gordon is obviously the one that's sitting there with the diagnosis. But Zepp, let me know your thoughts, Justin, on and Hannah and Madison also, if y'all want Zepp being in there. Hannah, you gave a good bit of opinion on this in the last episode, but he's doing all this really messed up stuff because Jigsaw has poisoned him and he has to kidnap the family of Dr. Gordon and literally just watch.
Yeah.
Literally just watch all this unfold, and he's my job is to kill y'all if they don't play the game.
Yeah.
Which is such a weird concept because we've never seen a movie before where someone is literally hey, if you don't abide by these rules, this person, and we've seen hostage situations in movies. Like, you've seen standard movies like Train, you've seen a bunch of movies that have hostage situations, and this puts it in a whole other realm. Like, not only is a hostage situation, but the hostage situation is dependent on X, Y, Z, starting back over with A, B, C, D, E, going all the way through. So, there's just so much.
You think, I mean, obviously we know the movie as a whole, it's a game. Somebody's playing a game. But
Really
you
serious.
think that it's Zep playing the game and control of the game, but really he's the one being played.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a crazy plot twist in and of itself too, because the entire time, you know, he's behind the cameras. He's the one that kidnaps the wife and the daughter. So you see it, and he looks like he's completely behind it. The only thing that gives it away is when he says those are the rules, but
Yes.
I mean, it could even just be his own rules. So you don't really know anything until the very end.
That's a very good point, because you have like the double-sided mirror, which you think, okay, whoever's watching on the other side has to be Jigsaw, and then it unfolds that that's Zep. But then you pay great detail to the dialogue, because like, why would he say those are the rules of the game? As in, like, he has no control over the game.
Yeah.
As the character we think is Jigsaw,
Or that
why does he have no control?
I just thought it was because he was. I mean, when I first watched it, right, it's just like, well, you have to abide by my rules. So like,
Yeah.
like it's like,
Open to a lot of interpretation.
yeah,
Yeah.
like those are like my rules. You're gonna follow my fucking rules, and I'm gonna kill you because you didn't follow these fucking rules. Like, you know,
Yeah. You just think he's the sick twist.
yeah. I like it's fucked up. I mean, this dude's like, so Jigsaw is big on like trying to like give life to people who appreciate life. But why the fuck are you playing this weird game? Like, it's like,
Yeah, why is that the way he unfolds his
Yeah.
stuff? And you do see
Like-
in the later films, like his first few. There's even a trap that predates the bear trap. It doesn't work out very well. But like, Justin, what really stuck out to you as we talk characters? What really stuck out to you, since you're the actor and you're the acting specialist in our podcast? Like, what stuck out to you from an acting standpoint, whether it be a moment or whether it be a specific person? Like, was there anything that really stuck out to you that?
so
Because you have a really good eye for that stuff.
I think Danny Glover, man. I think although he dies in this movie, I think he does such a good job in connecting and being invested in that character. When you're like, in every movie or show or whatever, right? You see, as far as like cops and detectives go, you have a partner, and you see how much your partner means to you. And like, that was probably like one of the things for me. Like I said earlier, is like, oh, saying we're gonna do this, right? So like, I think at that point he's like, I have to solve this this mystery of who is Jigsaw.
Yep.
If not for me, I have to do this for my partner. I'm not gonna let him die for no reason.
Right.
Like, his death has to stand for something. And that was like to me, that was probably like one of the biggest moments where it's almost like he's crazy, but he's not really crazy.
Because we know that he's actually chasing something that's real and tangible.
And it seems crazy to even Gordon when he's like, oh, he was kicked off the force. You're listening to this dude.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, you're taking money from a guy who's not even part of who's not even a cop.
Yeah, it seems so sketch. Yeah.
But he doesn't know that he's fucking trying to save his life. Like, he's, you know. So that, to me, that's like the biggest thing. But what about like for you? Like, I don't care that you don't like act or anything like that. So, but like, what to you? Like, what was like, what stuck out to you as far as like somebody's character? Like, you know.
So one thing before I say mine is I do want to say how Detective Tab died just by a gunshot was really dumb. I was upset that that's how he went. Wish he went out in a little better way, because he was a really strong character.
Yeah, because everybody else went out in like some literally everybody else got fucked up.
I love Lee Whannell. You can tell he's not like your everyday actor. He does a really good job in Insidious still also, but like Saw being so early in his career, he does enough to get it across. God, like Amanda's acting is what sticks out to me. I know she's not in this film much, but I can't even help but think like later in the other films, like into Saw 3. Like, just like her presence in this film, just it's so small, and it obviously ends up having such a strong role in Saw 2 and 3. So I really pick her in this. I don't think she was the best actress/actor in this film and had the best portrayal. She had the biggest impact for me over the whole franchise because she plays such a part in part 2 and part 3. The best acting display, in my opinion, and I mean, I really do like the connection that everybody's had, but like, I guess I'd have to pick one of the main people. Like, Dr. Gordon is probably like, he really does. You can genuinely believe that he doesn't. He's slow. He's like finding the stuff out as you unfind it, as you figure it out too. That's what I like. He's a step behind us, knowing that Adam has that he has the photograph. I like what he does. Like, he so subtly does the dip of the cigarette into the poisoned blood. Even to the point when after he cuts his foot off, like, it's just very good, like, method acting and like expressional acting.
Yeah. It's hard to do that. Like, you don't, like...
Especially off-screen.
Well, yeah. Also, like, you don't know what it's like to saw your foot off. So to be able to portray that, like, you don't, like... Because you don't. Unless you've actually sawed your foot off, like, you're not gonna know.
Could y'all imagine having to do that, though?
He just did it. I mean, he didn't stop and scream. I mean, he just kept sawing.
Yeah. Who's your favorite character? Who do you think did a great job acting, too?
Definitely Gordon, and probably Danny Glover. Forgot his name. Tap.
Yeah.
One thing I want to add about him sawing his leg off at the end was after he had done it and he was trying to leave and get out of there, the makeup effect on him is really good. How he was so white and
oh yeah.
He looks like he just sawed his leg off. I mean, he really did.
Like he's drained. Looks drained of blood.
He did. He looked like he was just gonna like die, just crawling. I mean, he was so drained. But I think that was really good.
Also to add to that, one of the things I want to add is like far as like character development in that is this dude, like the two people who are in there, Adam and Detective Tap, are pretty much just spent the whole movie yelling at each other.
Yep.
And so he saws his foot off, but shoots Adam in the shoulder. But there was a moment right at the end, like pretty close to the end. He gets this close to his face, and they're talking to each other. And he's like, "You're gonna be okay." So he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna save us." And so that moment, as far as like development between those two characters, after yelling at each other for an hour and a half, shut the fuck up.
Justin's talking to Garrett, his little brother, who's playing Fortnite.
This guy's headphones on.
He had to keep him in check.
But the development between those two characters, now they see, I'm gonna try to save us and try to get us out of here. And the guy because I mean, Adam saved his life.
Yeah, and I didn't give Adam enough credit when I was talking about his acting, like just being able to show that expression and rage of when he was killing Zepp with the top of the toilet, like that is impressive. Like just how well he did that scene, because it's one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite kill in the movie. Is when he does that, even though it's entirely off screen. It's super impressive. Just expression he was able to show through his facials, through everything that he was just doing in that moment, like in trying to get revenge on Zepp. Which
I also I do want to say, which something my brother did bring up, the two characters of
before you told him to shut up.
Diana and
The mom.
the mom. What's her name? Allison.
Yep.
So that's So Diana and Allison, I think they're two underrated characters in this movie. They do play a big role. I just fucking hated that the wife just didn't fucking shoot Zepp.
Yep.
Somebody breaks into your house, like would you just sit there and just point a gun at him, or would you shoot him?
Depends. If I knew they were like a crazy person, like someone schizophrenic that walks in, I probably wouldn't shoot them. if they were obviously a threat.
Would you know that by looking at them?
No, I just have a personal experience that I know somebody that has broken into a house and they're schizophrenic, and thankfully the person got them help and didn't shoot them. So that's the only thing. That's the only reason I say that.
Yeah.
Because it's very like, but at the same time, majority of the situations is you defend your house. Probably it's like we think about all these MMA fighters that like they're different. They don't need a gun. They have their hands as weapons. But like Anthony Smith was able to like have an intruder. I think was that in his house.
Mm-hmm.
So
Downstairs.
literally subdued somebody that came in with a weapon. So like, we don't have the ability to do that. So yeah, we have to protect our house at all costs. Which in this point, you've been kidnapped. So I completely agree. You've been kidnapped. It's not just someone walking into your house.
Yeah.
You've been kidnapped. You've been held back. So yes,
Tied down.
you would be defending yourself in this situation, which is entirely like. That's the only quirk we had, but like the kid acting was fantastic, was what you were getting to, right?
Yeah, it's incredible. I always have respect for like kids who act really well.
Yes, me too.
Like in
Yes. Like when, like, I feel like little kid actors just don't get enough credit for how good they can act.
Yeah.
They're at a young age. Yeah.
And they're super professional. Like, they're probably more professional than a lot of people.
Yeah. I gotta. Like, one that sticks out to me is back in the 90s, I'll clip it to this, but there's this audition video of this, the main character, the kid in E.T.
You better clip some actual horror stuff in here too if you're gonna clip damn E.T.
I wanna clip the audition, like this audition is incredible. I'm serious. I'll show it to you guys after this, after we film this. You guys will be, it's insane. Like, he's so fucking
I
good.
feel like he played in another movie. Though.
He's just insanely good. But anyway, off topic.
Henry Thomas.
Yeah. So that, I guess that's like my take on these characters.
Haunting of Hill House. That's what he was saying.
What did you? I guess. What about for you? Like, I want to talk about favorite characters. Who, like, so you said
My favorite character is Dr. Gordon.
Gordon.
I love Dr. Gordon.
Yeah.
But I love him later in the series also. Amanda is, it's hard for me to fully sell it on Amanda because she's a very important part of this movie, but she's not an expansive part of this movie. She's a very expansive part of the movie in part 2 and part 3. And I think she's incredible. It's one of the reasons I love part 3, and part 3 is my favorite of the series.
Mhm.
So I'd say her, with an asterisk, actually Dr. Gordon.
I think Dr. Gordon too. I think he did a really good job.
Yeah.
But I like how from the start, as soon as he woke up, he was asking questions. He was being smart about it. He was trying to connect with Adam, figure out what their connection was, even though all along you don't realize Adam already knows. And he's looking around the room. He's trying to find stuff, and Adam just being a little shithead, just sitting there, like not really helping him out.
Mhm.
Yeah, because he knows more information, and he's like, I recognize you. I know who you are.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just no station.
He's holding his cards really close to his chest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Justin, do you have any last points before we get out of here for this part of the episode? Do you have any last points on the acting? Like, I know we talked about things that stuck out, but
No, I don't think there was bad acting in this either. That's
do you think
one thing I will say.
it really added to this being like such a pivotal horror movie? Do you think the acting really did help it stick out in the genre?
What do you mean?
Like, so we look at a good way to look at this is we were talking the kid actors and Bill Skarsgård. The It reboot would not even be close to living up to the name of the original miniseries if you didn't have Bill Skarsgård and if you didn't have the kids that were that good of acting. Like, so that is something that sticks out. Do you think the acting sticks out here, or is just a good compliment to a great story with an incredible twist that led off to an entire generation of style and subgenre on its own?
Acting definitely sticks out. Like I said, mainly because like those are things you have to really, really think. Like, what would you do in that situation?
And make
like,
it believable.
Especially since, like, I'm sure the actor who played Gordon has probably never sawed his foot off.
Yeah, probably
But
not.
he was
I
able
don't
to
think he has.
Yeah.
he was able to portray it
Yeah.
really well on camera.
Yeah, so yeah, the acting definitely stuck out in there. But yeah, I guess with that said, we'll go to our second sponsor. We'll go with Brandon.
Brandon
Just
Jack,
be kicking it.
Just be kicking it.
I can do that too, yo.
My guy, don't try it. This is gonna be bad. For those on audio, I'm trying to balance this to a Seki's can on my head. It's got a decent amount of beer in it 'cause this is our second one. But I'm gonna take it off. It's gonna drop. So Brandon, just be kicking it. Baseball jerseys are out. Go check them out. They're in our Godzilla vs Kong episode. Justin's wearing it. So go check him out. Women's wear on the way. A lot of exciting stuff on the way. He's got socks. He's got t-shirts. He's got shorts.
I won 2 pairs of shorts, yo.
You did. You did. So when he gets them, I told him that's all he can wear. So go follow Brandon. Just be kicking it on Instagram.
My thick ass in them shorts.
Justin is.
If you want to see his ass, all you have to do is look at our wedding pictures.
Yeah, it is.
No, not my butt.
The suspenders put a lot of shape to his booty.
Yeah, it sure did. Is that? He did it to himself. He put the suspenders on.
I did not do it to myself. One of my groomsmen couldn't loosen my suspenders.
I'd like to put it on record that as one of the groomsmen that loosened the suspenders, it was the loosest I've ever seen any suspenders. Just to let you know. So my dog is packing. Part 2. Peace.